The best medieval RPG games offer immersive experiences in rich, historically inspired worlds filled with knights, castles, and epic quests. These games transport you to a bygone era where you can forge your own destiny, whether you choose to be a valiant hero, a cunning rogue, or a powerful mage. With stunning graphics, intricate storylines, and engaging gameplay mechanics, these titles provide countless hours of entertainment for both seasoned RPG fans and newcomers to the genre. Starting off at number 10 is Dragon's Dogma 2. Dragon's Dogma 2 masterfully blends fantasy with a deeply rooted medieval sensibility, offering an RPG experience that feels both immersive and authentic. Its strength lies in its meticulous attention to detail, from the weathered stonework of its castles to the practical design of its weaponry, all contributing to a tangible medieval atmosphere. Combat eschews flashy spectacle for strategic, grounded encounters, demanding resourcefulness and tactical thinking reminiscent of historical warfare. The intricate political landscape, rife with rival factions and complex alliances, mirrors the power dynamics of medieval societies, adding layers of narrative depth. Moreover, the game's emphasis on exploration and survival, where every journey is a potentially perilous undertaking, captures the spirit of medieval travel. This commitment to realism, coupled with its engaging fantasy elements, elevates Dragon's Dogma 2 beyond typical genre conventions, creating a truly compelling and believable medieval world. Next over at number 9 is Dark and Darker. Dark and Darker excels as a medieval RPG by immersing players in a brutal and unforgiving world that authentically evokes the dangers and uncertainties of the era. Beyond its grim aesthetic, the game's core mechanics emphasize survival and resource management, mirroring the challenges of medieval life. Every foray into the dungeons is a gamble, forcing players to scavenge for supplies, manage their inventory carefully, and make tough decisions about what to keep and what to leave behind. The ever-present threat of permadeath reinforces the fragility of life, making every successful escape feel like a hard-won victory. Combat, while fantastical, has a grounded feel, requiring players to consider positioning, weapon choices, and the vulnerabilities of their foes. The focus on close-quarters combat and limited visibility heightens the tension, making each encounter a tense and strategic affair. Furthermore, the dungeon environment itself becomes a character, filled with traps, hidden passages, and environmental hazards that demand careful observation and clever problem-solving, much like navigating the complexities of a medieval castle or city. Now, at number 8 is Medieval Dynasty. Medieval Dynasty stands out as a compelling medieval RPG for its deep integration of medieval life and survival mechanics. Players aren't just hacking and slashing, they're immersed in the daily grind of building a life in the Middle Ages. The game excels in its realistic portrayal of medieval survival, demanding players to hunt, farm, craft, and manage resources to ensure their own well-being and the growth of their settlement. What sets it apart is the emphasis on dynasty building. You're not just a lone adventurer, you're establishing a lineage that will carry on your legacy. This adds a layer of strategic depth as you make decisions that impact future generations. The game also shines in its attention to historical detail, from the clothing and tools to the architecture and social structures, offering an authentic glimpse into medieval Europe. While combat exists, it's not the sole focus. Instead, Medieval Dynasty emphasizes the interconnectedness of various aspects of medieval life, from economic management to social interactions. Next over at number 7 is A Plague Tale Requiem. A Plague Tale Requiem offers a compelling medieval RPG experience by immersing players in 14th century France during the Black Death. Asobo Studio meticulously recreates the era's atmosphere, architecture and social structures, from bustling medieval cities to imposing castles and the sprawling countryside, all while the ever-present threat of the plague and the Inquisition looms large. The game incorporates real historical events, figures and practices, providing a glimpse into the harsh realities of medieval life. The narrative follows Amicia and Hugo de Rune as they navigate this dangerous world, their personal and epic journey touching upon themes of family, survival, and the struggle against overwhelming odds. Gameplay blends organically within the setting, utilising Amicia's resourcefulness and Hugo's unique abilities. Complex, well-developed characters like Amicia and Hugo anchor the story, their relationship a central focus. Stunning visuals bring the medieval world to life with incredible detail, from bustling cities to desolate battlefields. The story's emotional impact, both heartbreaking and hopeful, combined with memorable characters, ensures a lasting impression long after the game's completion. Moving on to number 6 is Assassin's Creed Valhalla. Assassin's Creed Valhalla stands out as a compelling medieval RPG for several reasons, particularly its deep dive into the Viking Age. The game excels in authentically recreating the atmosphere of 9th century England, showcasing the clash between Norse raiders and Anglo-Saxon kingdoms. Players experience the era through the eyes of Ivor, a Viking raider, participating in historical events like the Great Heathen Army's invasion and the establishment of Viking settlements. The game's attention to the medieval era extends to its depiction of Viking culture, beliefs and social structures, offering a nuanced portrayal of a complex historical period. Beyond its historical setting, Valhalla offers a rich RPG experience. Players can customize Ivor's skills and playstyle, choosing from various combat approaches and making choices that impact the narrative. The game features a vast open world to explore, filled with engaging quests, intriguing characters, and hidden secrets. From raiding monasteries to forging alliances with English lords, players are immersed in the political and social landscape of the medieval times. Next on to number 5 is The Elder Scrolls Skyrim. The Elder Scrolls V Skyrim stands out as a quintessential medieval RPG for several compelling reasons. Its expansive open world evokes a strong sense of medieval life, with its diverse landscapes ranging from snow-capped mountains to lush forests and bustling walled cities. The architecture, clothing and weaponry all reflect classic medieval designs, immersing players in a believable historical setting. Beyond its visuals, Skyrim's gameplay mechanics further enhance its medieval flavour. Players can engage in traditional medieval activities like blacksmithing, hunting and farming, or pursue more adventurous paths such as knighthood, banditry, or even joining a monastic order. The game's intricate crafting system allows players to forge their own armour and weapons, further deepening the sense of immersion in a medieval world where craftsmanship was highly valued. Skyrim's rich lore and storytelling also contribute to its medieval feel. The game is steeped in the history and mythology of its fictional world, with numerous quests and storylines that explore themes of chivalry, honour and religious conflict, all common tropes of medieval literature. Next on to number 4 is Dragon Age Inquisition. Dragon Age Inquisition offers a diverse range of gameplay mechanics that enhance the medieval RPG experience. The combat system, while incorporating fantasy elements, features tactical elements reminiscent of medieval warfare, such as positioning, flanking, and utilising different weapon types effectively. The player's ability to build and manage a medieval-style Inquisition, complete with advisors, spies and soldiers, further immerses them in the role of a leader in a medieval setting. The game's exploration elements also contribute to the medieval atmosphere, with players traversing vast landscapes, discovering hidden ruins, and encountering various creatures and characters inspired by medieval folklore and mythology. Plus, the blend of rich world building, engaging narrative, and diverse gameplay mechanics makes it a standout medieval RPG, while its attention to detail in recreating aspects of medieval society, culture and history creates a compelling and immersive experience for players seeking a taste of the medieval era with a touch of fantasy. Now, next over at number 3 is Mount & Blade II Bannerlord. Mount & Blade II Bannerlord offers a compelling and immersive medieval RPG experience by seamlessly blending strategic and action-oriented gameplay within a richly detailed medieval world. The dynamic and persistent world, where kingdoms rise and fall and alliances shift, creates a sense of consequence, making player actions meaningful within the larger medieval society. Bannerlord's mechanics reflect the complexities of feudalism, allowing players to rise through the ranks, manage lands, and engage in political intrigue. The realistic combat system, emphasizing directional attacks, blocking, and footwork, combined with the ability to recruit, train, and command diverse medieval units in tactical battles, truly captures the essence of medieval warfare. Beyond combat, the game features a complex economic system, allowing players to engage in trade and manage resources, mirroring the economic realities of the era. Siege warfare is realistically depicted, letting players construct siege engines and lead assaults on castles. Now, moving on to number 2 is The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt. The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt stands out as a pinnacle of medieval RPGs, masterfully blending fantasy elements with a grounded, historically inspired world. Its appeal lies in its rich and immersive portrayal of a medieval-inspired society, where players navigate complex political landscapes, encounter fascinating characters, and engage in morally ambiguous quests. The game's world is a meticulously crafted tapestry of medieval life, showcasing the stark contrasts between opulent cities and impoverished villages. The architecture, clothing, and daily routines of the inhabitants reflect the realities of the era, while the presence of mythical creatures and magic adds a layer of fantastical intrigue. Players assume the role of Geralt of Rivia, a professional monster hunter whose journey takes him through war-torn lands, treacherous swamps, and bustling cities. Along the way, he interacts with a diverse cast of characters, each with their own motivations and secrets. The game's narrative delves into themes of social inequality, religious fanaticism, and political intrigue, mirroring the complexities of medieval society. Now, down to number 1 is Kingdom Come 2 Deliverance. Kingdom Come 2 Deliverance stands out as the best medieval RPG due to its unwavering focus on historical accuracy and grounded realism. Set in 15th century Bohemia, the game meticulously recreates the era's social, political, and cultural landscape as players experience the daily life of a commoner known as Henry, as he navigates a world filled with intricate class dynamics, religious tensions, and the ever-present threat of war. Unlike other medieval-themed games that often lean into fantasy tropes, Kingdom Come 2 Deliverance grounds its gameplay in historical reality. The combat is challenging and requires strategic thinking, reflecting the actual limitations of medieval weaponry and armor. The game's attention to detail extends to its environments, which are painstakingly crafted to reflect the architecture, clothing, and customs of the time. Plus, beyond combat, the game emphasizes role-playing by incorporating realistic needs like eating, sleeping, and maintaining hygiene, which directly affects Henry's abilities and interactions. Moreover, the game's narrative is interwoven with real historical events and figures, further immersing players in the authentic medieval experience.
I've been waiting for you. Aha!